Hey everyone, and welcome to the ATP Project. You're here with your host, me, Nic and Steve-O.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you, Steve?
Good. I love you call me Steve-O. That's awesome.
I always call you Steve-O.
It makes me sound younger.
We do that in Australia. We do put O's on everything. Jono, Miko.
Jono. Nico.
Yeah,
That doesn't sound right, does it?
No, I know we do O's on the end of everything.
But I like sounding younger because I don't like ageing.
No, I don't like ageing either.
No. What can we do about ageing? Is there anything we can take to stop us ageing? Our brains and everything?
I reckon there might be a few things we can do.
What? Tell me about it.
Well, I reckon that there's a really good herb that we can have a chat about that might help with our brains as we get older.
Tell me, please.
Well, it's I'm not going to say it's one of my favourite herbs. It's one of the first herbs I learnt about. Ginkgo Biloba.
I love it. Do you know where the name comes from?
Tell me.
All right. Ginkgo's, and I've got an amazing history, but biloba means bilobe. So if you look at the leaf of a biloba, it's got two lobes on it, like a little love heart.
Yes.
Sort of not very ugly love heart, but it's really cool. But what I love about ginkgo is the history. I love history of herbs.
I do too.
But this one's got the longest history of any herb ever because it predates the dinosaurs.
It does.
Do you remember T-Rex going around? You were a bit young, aren't you?
Yeah, I was a bit young,
Yeah.
Yeah, you do.
But this plant has been around 245 to 66 million years ago. It's considered a living fossil. Fossils of ginkgo leaves have been dated back to 200 million years.
Wow.
So do you remember when the asteroid hit the Earth 65 million years ago?
No, Steve, tell me about it.
Oh, it was an interesting day. I was there with the T-Rexes.
Having a sunbake and suddenly there was a big boom.
The asteroid hit just off the coast of Mexico. And, of course, it wiped out all the reptiles, the bigger reptiles. Small mammals like about this size survived, and here we are. Mammals rule the Earth. Mammals.
That's right.
Okay.
Yes.
But back then, it was Lizard City, right?
Yeah.
But back then, ginkgo trees were around. Because remember, everyone thinks herbs are these little things you put in pot, but you can't put ginkgo in a pot plant.
No, you can't.
It grows to 40 metres tall.
Yeah, it's huge.
It's a tree.
It is. Big tree.
It's a tree. And as you correctly pointed out, it really has a function in the brain. Now, we've got lots of studies here, but it's traditionally been used for, you're going to love this, won't be it. It was written about 280,000 BC, known for, quote, brain disorders, circulatory disorders, and respiratory diseases.
Well, there you go.
And I mean, guess what? The studies show 2023, it's good for your brain.
Same thing.
Isn't it? That's what I love about it, you know. It's quite incredible. It's also used for coughs, stopping diarrhea and toothaches and healing skin, and also, importantly, gonorrhea.
Oh, very important.
Very important.
Very important.
So that's its traditional use. But what I love are the studies these days.
Yeah, we've got quite a few of them here, don't
Probably
we?
its most famous one is this one, which of course I'm holding up a paper called The Frontiers in Pharmacology, and it's a major study, the use of ginkgo in Alzheimer's disease, and it's very well researched for that. So really, really good for getting your brain active again because it boosts acetylcholine levels, which forms memories.
Yep.
Great for circulation for the brain.
Yep.
So really, really good one. And what have you got for me? What else does it do? Quick, the listeners are keen.
We've got a whole list here. We've got a really cool little
hit me with
image.
Hit me with one.
Well, I like the blood flow support.
Yeah.
So microcirculation, microvascular circulation. That's what I've always used it for in clinic.
Yes.
Yeah. So many different applications for that that we can talk about. Yeah.
I know. There's one I want to talk about, which is on the – no, I won't say that. But it's very good for impotence. Speaking of microcirculation.
Look, I did highlight a study showing that. Impotence, it is very good for that.
There is a study, and it's titled Ginkgo Biloba Extract for the Therapy of Erectile Dysfunction. Now, what they did with this one was they wanted to see whether it helped men. Now, there's lots of reasons why you become impotent as you age. The most common one is the arteries just come clogged up in the PP. And what they did with this, they took 30 people and they injected them with prostaglandin of the 2 series into the downstairs department, and that gives you a spontaneous erection.
Right.
Now, so they made sure that these people could form an erection, and they gave 30 people Ginkgo Biloba with a placebo-controlled trial, and they found that 240 milligrams of Ginkgo Biloba taken orally for 9 months improved erections in 19 of the 11. They regained they regained their erections.
Wow.
Isn't that incredible?
It is great, isn't it?
So really, really good one for microcirculation, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Look, there's lots of uses for it. What's another one you got for it?
Well, I'll go with things that I used it for. So any ear issues.
Yeah.
Yeah, so tinnitus.
Tinnitus, yeah.
Yeah, so that's that ringing in the ears.
Yeah.
Really good for that. Is that microvascular circulation to the ear?
Yes.
Meniere's disease.
Meniere's disease is another.
Yeah, Meniere's disease. That can be a pretty nasty one. I personally experienced Meniere's disease.
Really?
Yes, many years ago.
Tell us about it.
So, it was horrendous.
What is it? I've read about it. I've never had it.
What is it? So Meniere's disease, it's very odd. So you'll have experience deafness, but not total deafness. So everything will be muffled, but then there'll be sounds that are really loud and unbearably loud. So it's sort of a very odd dizziness, vertigo, ringing in the ears, horrible, and it can just come on for no reason, and it's debilitating. So I I couldn't stand up with the vertigo and the noise. So it was just very, very odd. Any sort of noise was extremely loud.
Wow.
So I had to be locked in a room with no noise.
Jesus.
And apparently it's incurable. Supposedly.
I love the incurable diseases. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I took ginkgo for that.
Yeah.
A few other herbs, but ginkgo primarily. Within a month, I didn't have any more attacks, and that would have to be 30 years ago now.
Wow. 30? I thought you were only 28.
Sorry, I meant 3.
But look, speaking of aging, that is an incredible story about Meniere's disease because that is incurable. I've got a paper here, and it's a review paper. It's published 2022 in Antioxidants, and it says Ginkgo Biloba in the Aging Process, a narrative review. Now, the paper talks about all the effects. Now, you ready for this one? Mm-hmm. Improved cerebral blood flow.
Yep.
Improved cognition. Executive function, attention concentration, non-verbal memory, mood, decreased stress, decreasing fasting glucose, decreased glycosylated hemoglobin, improves in insulin levels, reduced body mass index, reduced waist circumference, reduced oxidative stress, reduced inflammation.
Jeez.
I mean, how's that for they've reviewed all the positivities of it. So, if you're an old man like me, this would be a bloody good little herb to take.
Well, it's really good for aging population. Actually, I've got one here that made me laugh because it showed it was in, I've got so many things here but about the elderly. Here we go. This makes me laugh. A double-blind study.
Yep.
Get this, 40 elderly patients ranging from 51 to 78.
Oh, Jesus Christ. So I'm an elderly
you're
patient.
An elderly patient, Steve, and I'm nearly elderly, so there you go.
Gee.
So these are people with depression who had not benefited fully from standard antidepressant drugs.
Right.
They were given either 80 milligrams of ginkgo 3 times a day or placebo.
Yep.
By the end of the 8-week trial, the total score of the Hamilton rating scale for
That's
depression.
That's the depression scale, yeah.
Yeah. In the Ginkgo Biloba group dropped from 14 to 4.5.
Whoa. Hey, that's better than some pharmacologicals.
Amazing. In comparison to the placebo group that dropped from 14 to 13. So virtually no change. So, and it shows that it can possibly enhance the effectiveness of standard medications, antidepressants as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
See, I love that because we're talking about treating depression. 14 to 4.5 is remarkable.
It's huge. Yeah, huge drop.
That is absolutely incredible. I mean, and the fact that it works with pharmacological agents means there's no interactions. There are some antidepressants called like Hypericum which can interact with medications because it upregulates cytochrome P453A4. This one doesn't do that.
No, it doesn't.
So it's a good one.
Yeah.
I've got another one for you.
All right.
Speaking of, this is a little bit to do with elderly.
Okay.
But it's elderly women.
Oh, postmenopausal. Post-big M?
Post-big M, yes, that's it.
Right.
And what they found was their sexual function in women postmenopausally had positive, I'm reading it now, positive effects on sexual function in postmenopausal women. This is a review article published 2021. So great for improving vascularization in women too.
Also cognitive function in postmenopausally. Very good for that as well.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't have the study with me, but there was a study done on that as well. And
no, it's
significant
incredible.
Improvements. Yeah.
It is absolutely incredible. I mean, another study, a review article here on your brain. You're going to love this one. This is people, control patient with schizophrenia and patient with dementia. There were no negative side effects, basically improved neuropsychiatric disorders, and you ready for these ones? Autism, depression, anxiety, attention deficit disorder, and addiction.
Wow.
And it also, our data also support the use of Ginkgo Biloba in patients with dementia and as an adjunct therapy for schizophrenia.
Wow.
It's like
That's good, isn't it?
Something wrong with your brain, this will be great for you. Now, it is really interesting, this herb, because it's been around for so long. It's a big tree. And
it's a big tree.
It's interesting. And they're usually using about 240 milligrams of the extract in all these trials. So it's a bit of a standardised one.
Yeah.
Well, what do you got for me?
So I've got one here. So Ginkgo Biloba helps to reestablish effective tissue perfusion during hypoxia, which is lack of oxygen. So interestingly, ginkgo has the ability to normalise the circulation in most areas affected by microembolism, mainly in the hippocampus and striatum, in the brain.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
Like, that's incredible. So I haven't got a study on this, but therefore it'd be good for people with Raynaud's disease.
Oh, well, I've got one here on Raynaud's.
You've got a study on Raynaud's.
Let me say, I've had a very fruitful life. I've experienced a lot of different things. I've had supposedly, in air quotes, Raynaud's disease.
Really?
Or Raynaud's, what do they call it? Phenomenon.
Now I'm looking at your hands now because it affects your fingers.
It's funny. And this is not bagging the medical profession, but in some cases, I was told I had Raynaud's because I used to get severe chilblains. I grew up in Victoria, where it gets quite cold.
Slightly.
So I used to get quite bad chilblains, and that's what Raynaud's will present as chilblains and poor circulation to your extremities, fingers, things like that.
Yep.
So I was told I had lupus because I had
SLE?
Raynaud's, yes, systemic lupus, yeah. So, which I didn't, because there is a connection between Raynaud's and lupus, very common connection.
Yeah, absolutely there is.
Yeah, so which I didn't have lupus, and I don't think I had Raynaud's because it's gone.
It's gone.
It's gone. I moved to Queensland and it never came back.
There you go. Raynaud's is a Victorian disease, obviously.
There it is. Yeah, but I did use ginkgo for my circulation, and it did definitely had a huge impact. And as I said, I've used it in clinic for people with circulation issues.
Oh my God.
And it's very effective.
Look, it's incredible. And I've got here a paper on the mechanisms of action of ginkgo. And we haven't got time to read through all of them. That's how good it is. But I'll improve superoxide, increases glutathione, reduces free radical, increases glutathione activity, reduces MDA, which is a free radical, increases, and so it's a very powerful antioxidant. It also reduces inflammation and neuroinflammation, so interleukin-1 beta, interleukin-6, tumor necrosis factor. I mean, it goes on forever, but one of the important things here, it reduces amyloid precursor protein, so the plaques in your brain that people associate with Alzheimer's disease, and increases acetylcholine, which you want to do if you've got Alzheimer's and memory disorders. Reduces tau proteins. I've said anti-inflammatory. Inhibits cell apoptosis, so it stops your brain from dying, literally. And it reduces neurofibrillary tangles. I mean, it's like, this is the one you want to take if you've got any sort of brain disorder. But I'm going to hit you because you're a naturopath. You practice. You are practicing at the moment. They can Google Nicole Brown and find you.
Yep.
Now, let's say someone comes to you and they've got sort of, like let's say they're like me, getting old, and, you're making up a herbal mix for them.
Yes.
Okay. So we love our liquid herbs.
We do.
It's funny, off camera, I gave Nick some yucky tasting herbs this morning, actually.
Yeah, I love them. They taste awful, but I love them.
Oh, they taste disgusting. Let's say someone comes to see you with what other herbs would work well with ginkgo? You mentioned like Brahmi is a really good one.
Brahmi's a really good one. Rhodiola.
Rhodiola is a good one. Now, we've done a podcast on rhodiola.
We did a podcast on rhodiola. Yeah, really good for a lot of different things. Yeah.
Lovely thing.
Great for the brain.
Great for the brain. And what about Gotu Kola?
I love Gotu Kola.
I know you do.
It's my favourite. It is one of my favourites.
Yes.
Yes, because it's the natural Botox.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very good for the skin.
You got great skin. You got lovely.
Well, maybe because I have lots of Botox. I'm not sorry. Lots of Gotu Kola. I don't have Botox.
You don't have Botox?
I don't have Botox. No, I don't.
I've never had Botox.
I've never had Botox. No, I don't want to stick rat poison in my... Oh, no, I shouldn't say that. Some people need it.
Yeah.
For medical reasons.
Yes.
But no, I don't want to put it in my face.
Wow.
But I will take Gotu Kola regularly. I have Gotu Kola tea every day, actually.
Really?
Yeah, every day.
Is that why you're so smart?
That's why. That must be it, Steve. Yeah.
I mean, it combines well with also some of the ginsengs, like Siberian ginseng.
I love Siberian. You're saying you listen to my favourites.
You've told me this before, so I'm spilling them out to you. These are great herbs that can combine well together, and as you said before in the study, it works well with current medications.
Yeah.
So it's a really, really good one, and it also, and if you look at one of our beautiful little colour thing here, it also protects the mitochondria and is very good for exercise too.
Yeah.
I mean, may support endurance as well. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's good for your memory, of course. I'm going through. Great for your heart as well.
Yeah.
Ginkgo biloba is been researched well for the heart and is very good for that too. So, good old day. This is a good one to sort of think about supplementing long term for your as we age.
Yeah, definitely.
Because it is really good herb for protecting your brain, protecting your heart, helping your sex life along the way. I mean,
hearing, eyesight.
Hearing, eyesight, yeah.
So diabetic retinopathy. It's shown to be effective in that as well.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, wow. So if you're look, diabetes is a terrible disease. About 1 million Australians have it. Too much blood sugar damages micro blood vessels.
Yeah.
This will help with that.
Yeah. And also leg ulcers are associated with diabetes as well. Obviously, because with the circulation helps with the healing.
Yep.
Yeah. So eyes. What do we got? Eyes, ears, brain, sexual function.
Yep.
Cognition.
Yep.
Mitochondrial health.
Yep. And your fingers for Raynaud's or circulation. I mean, that's enough to. I mean, the fact we should have stopped the brain because without that you're screwed anyway.
Well, that's true.
But really, this is probably the premium, one of the premium herbs for the brain. And a really good one that's anti-inflammatory and does all sorts of things for the brain. The mechanisms are absolutely astonishing. If you're looking at home, there's the camera there. You can see this graph here, which shows you all the mechanisms. And I couldn't go through them all. We're going to take a 20-minute podcast.
That's right. Yeah,
it's a good one. So
yeah, it's really good.
Look, consider it. 240 milligrams. There's an extract that's very good for that. But any of those issues, consider Ginkgo biloba.
Yeah.
Talk to your naturopath.
I was going to say, talk to your healthcare professional before you start taking anything.
Absolutely.
Just in case you have any contraindications.
Yep, absolutely.
But Ginkgo's a great one. Have a look into it if you have any of those issues.
Yeah, exactly. We all have those issues just as we get older.
That's right.
Amazing. Great herb.
Yeah.
Great
Excellent.
herb combines well with others. Well,
it does.
I think we've run out of time now, so we will see you all next week.
Yeah. Thanks.
Take
See
care.
ya.